On to this in this workshop of UbD Understanding by Design, we will next look into stage 2, determine acceptable evidence. Now, a little bit brief about this. What stage 2 is about is mostly, it's valid evidence, making sure that we assess and how we assess follows logical, what follows logically from stage 1 goals, which we have already established. Previously. So we just want to make sure that everything starts, kind of aligning with each other. In this section, you will be developing understanding requires evidence of students' ability to insightfully explain or interpret their learning in a way that you're going to have to establish how they're going to show their work and how they're going to justify that what you have taught is actually being learned, and support how their performance has been developed over time, as well as they go through the unit. This will also require evidence for students ability to apply that learning to various realistic real world scenarios, and how that information has been able to transfer, opposed to merely answering questions as you would find with any textbook, or yes or no. This goes beyond that. This goes beyond just simple multiple choice questions. No, we want to make sure that what has been taught is actually sticking, and that they apply it in the real world scenarios. You will also kind of go through some things that will help you understand how it goes by making sure that students pick up everything that you have taught via the 6 facets of understanding, to help you build upon that framework of building your lesson plan very well. Okay, so let's jump to the next section. Stage 2, determine acceptable evidence. Okay, so in this one, the first part is basically performance tasks, and on the left side of the grid, you will see here you will be putting the code for all the transfer goals and all the meaning goals. The next one would be, this is your performance tasks. These are evidence of understanding of because we have to see if students or learners or the people that you're actually sharing your course with, how they're going to apply their learning into various issues, problems, situations, or scenarios in the real world. These will also make sure that as you go through the book, you understand how they reflect in the 6 facets of understanding. Basically, which are explanation, interpretation, application, perspective, empathy, and self-understanding. Okay, so that's where we will establish real-world context, demands, messiness, audience, and purposes, to make sure that all that is listed in this area. Next, you will be able to, this is where you will be indicating your evaluative criteria as far as what you have seen based off of the performance task that you have implemented. This should be, basically valid criteria indicators. They should be reflective of not only quality performance, but related to the desired results that you have established in stage 1. Okay, so you would put those in this section here. Okay, the next one would be other evidence. Now, in the other evidence, again, and following the same grid, the codes will go on the left side, followed by your other evidence, which would be, the purpose of this is to identify needed assessment of stage 1 goals, which include conventional tests, maybe quizzes, assignments, or any other type of observation that you will be implementing to the students. You will indicate it on here. Also, you can keep going as other evidence evaluative criteria. This will basically overlap any performance-based evidence, therefore increase the reliability of overall assessment you will be putting, if you have other types of criteria that you will be grading upon based on what type of evidence you have been implementing. Okay. Now, your grading rubric is here you will be putting whatever evaluative criteria you have indicated. This will go in the section where it says criteria number 1. Criteria. If you have 2 types of criteria, 3 types of criteria, you will be putting that on this in this section on the left, followed by just not right or wrong way of did the student complete it? Yes. Did the student did not complete it? No. You have to make sure that your rubric is built in an evaluative way, not a right or wrong way. Make sure that you have it pretty not very broad, but very in a way that they feel like they have a chance, or give them a chance to actually develop a higher understanding of what you're trying to teach. Sometimes this section can be a little bit difficult to kind of put in a way that feels more of inspiration and not really a depression of I failed, not an A or B or C, but it kind of helps students develop a sense of motivation to keep pushing for the next step, for the next goal. So that concludes stage 2, and we will be jumping onto stage 3 here shortly.